a stumbling block.
Yeah.
All right.
Amen. How many have their Bibles today? Whether it be a paper Bible or whether it be your electronic device.
Amen.
If you have your Bible, say amen.
Amen.
Today we're going to the book of Acts. We will be in the 9th chapter, and we will start at the 36th verse. Acts 9 and 36. The title of this sermon today is May the Works That I've Done Speak for Me.
Come on now. That's all right.
May the works that I've done speak for me.
Yeah, man.
When nothing else and all else is gone,
Yes.
may the works that I've done
Yes.
speak for me.
Amen.
If you ain't got no works,
Come on, man.
you ain't got nothing.
Amen. Amen.
Acts 9 and 36.
Yeah.
Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha,
Yes.
which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in an upper chamber. And as forasmuch as Lydda was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come with them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber. And all the widows stood by him, weeping, and showing the coats and the garments which Dorcas made, while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth, and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body, said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. And he gave her hand, and lifted her up, and when he had called the saints and the widows, presented her alive. And it was known throughout all Joppa, and many believed in the Lord.
Okay.
Father God, in the name of Jesus,
Yeah.
Lord, we ask that you look over this word.
Yes.
Lord, let it go out and accomplish what it needs to accomplish.
Yes.
Let it teach us what we need to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let it help us where we need help.
Yes,
Let
Lord.
it be an example that you are God and God
Yes,
alone.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated.
Amen.
May the works that I've done
Yes,
speak
Lord.
for me.
Yes.
Works that I have done
All
speak
right.
Yeah.
for me.
Amen.
Works are things that we do, what we have to do. And then there are other things that we do that we don't have to do. You work because you have to. You get up, you go to Kaiser, you go to UPS, you go to Oakland Public Schools, you go to AC Transit. You go because you have to. Because if you don't get up and go to work, you won't have anything to take care of your needs.
All right, man.
Work provides us with the things that we need, our
Yeah.
basic
Yes, it
necessities.
does.
It
Yeah.
helps us to maintain shelter over our heads. It helps us to drive the cars that we have, whether we have a car or we don't. We still have a job. It helps us to decide whether or not we're going to the dollar store or
Yeah.
we're going to Safeway. Or
Amen.
we're going from Safeway to Costco.
Amen.
And your work depends on what you will get, where you will get it from, and how you will get it,
Yeah.
according to how thy work.
Amen.
When you work, there are different wages. Some people make $20 an hour. Some people make $10 an hour. Some people make $100 an hour. But how many know that it don't matter how much money you make when you work? if you don't know what to do with it, it's just money.
That's right.
People who make $100 an hour, you say, ooh, I would love to be making $100 an hour. But if you change shoes with that person, you find out that they have more debt and they spending way more money that they ain't got because they're counting on the $100 an hour. And sometimes when we work and we make a certain amount of money, it takes away your humility. It takes away your common sense.
Amen.
Because you're spending money before you get it.
Amen. Amen.
Versus you go to the house of the person who's making $15 an hour and you're shocked to see that they're doing much better than the person who makes $100 an hour. So it doesn't matter how much you make per hour. What matters is how you manage what you make. Because if I take my $15 an hour and I pay my tithes and my offering and I do the things that God has asked me to do versus the person who's making $100 an hour ain't doing none of that.
Amen.
You will be surprised. I have to tell the testimony when I was working at UPS, I used to play golf with two gentlemen, Walter and Stan Johnson and Walter Fitzpatrick. And they were real estate agents and they were making a whole lot of money. And it made me feel bad, like my little UPS job wasn't nothing.
Amen.
But I really couldn't see the forest for the trees, Mother Hurt, because around the 96, 97, or whenever it happened, we had a crash in the market. And we had people losing their homes left and right. We had people who couldn't find a place to live. We had people whose cars were being repossessed left and right. We had people who had great credit who went to having great credit to no credit. And the same people that I felt bad playing golf with because I wasn't making what they were making, they were losing everything, Mother Hurt. And I was still knocking on the door saying, it's UPS. May I deliver you your package? It did not stop me from getting my check every Friday in the middle of a recession. My family did not go without. So I had to repent. I had to be thankful for what God has given me and know that just because it looks good don't mean that it's always good. And you can't be envious and jealous of what somebody else is doing. Just be happy and comfortable with what God has you doing in your work. And when it's time for you to move on, God will elevate you because the Bible says God exalts one and takes down another. Deuteronomy says it's God that gives you power to get wealth. You can't even work unless God gives and grants you the power.
Amen.
Thank you,
that's the
Jesus.
type of
Thank
job
you,
we
Jesus.
have to do.
Amen.
But then there's another type of work. Something that you are passionate about. Passionate about.
Yes.
Things that you are passionate about, Sister Annie, is something that you would do for free. Cordell's passionate about cooking. Whether he got paid for it or not, he still cooked.
Amen. Yes, he does.
My father's passionate about building things. Whether he got paid for it or not, he's still going to build something.
Amen.
When you are passionate about something and some work, it is something that you do whether you get money or you don't. You love what you do because you get joy out of giving and doing for others. It's not about me in that moment, but it's about what me can do for you to make you feel better and feel more comfortable because I have a gift. Now, there's nothing worse than a person who has a gift and they sit on it.
Amen. Amen.
That's not the case here in this text. It tells us that a disciple named Dorcas. First and foremost, it says a disciple. A disciple is and always will be a follower of Christ.
Amen.
That means that she was saved.
Amen.
Yes.
All right, only what you do for Christ is going to last.
Amen.
You may build a great cathedral, large and small, but only what you do for Christ will last. So she is and was saved.
Amen.
Saved. She was saved.
Amen.
And she had a passion for people. Hey, Pastor Brazil, how are you? Everybody say, God bless Pastor Brazil.
Amen.
She She was saved.
Amen.
She had a passion for people.
Yeah.
So let's look at her passion.
Mm-hmm.
She was a seamstress.
Yeah.
A seamstress.
3.
She was a sewer before they had sewing machines.
Yeah.
She could take a needle and a thread, and you know, if you're a good seamstress, you can go into Macy's and you can see what they got on the rack, and you already got in your mind how you gonna go get you some material and you gonna make what you see. You walk in there, back then, you walk into Emporium Catwells. We no longer have Catwells, but you walk into Emporium Catwells and you go over there and you see that good old Gloria Vanderbilt. I'm dating myself, but you understand what I'm saying.
Amen.
You see the little Gloria Vanderbilt dress and you take a good look at it and you be like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, let me see how. Oh yeah, the skirt is pleated, and I see the shoulder pads in the shirt. You know, because we used to watch Dynasty on Friday nights when we got out of church. Come on, somebody say amen. And we be here. We be going home to see JR. We be going home to see what was the other one? Knots Landing. You know, we was on our way, and we would see what she was wearing, and we could emulate what we saw somebody else wearing just by seeing it.
Amen.
So then we would go out and we would get the fabric and the material, and we have nothing but an idea in our mind, Mother Hurt, and that dress would come out looking better than if we bought it at Catwells, Macy's, Neiman Marcus, or whatever shopping establishment was selling it. And then you have people saying to you, girl, where you get your dress at?
Amen.
I made this. Girl, you made that? I made that. So now what society does, Sister Christine, they call it a one-off. A one-off. Oh yeah, it's an original. Yeah, this is a Rochelle Denise Booth original. A one-off. You can only get this in my size. That size. I made that set. A one-off.
That's it.
It ain't nothing but what we was doing back when we didn't have no money, but seeing what we like, looking at it with the artistic eye that God gave us, and come home and sit down at the sewing machine with the scissors and the shears and sew it together on the inside, make the seam and the line, and boom, and it's all mine. And we're at 4 times, pressing iron, and do whatever we need to do.
Amen.
This is what this woman was. She was a seamstress. She was a seamstress to women who had lost their husbands, women who had lost their children, women who were just at a loss and a disadvantage. She was the void that filled the gap.
Amen.
To these women who were in need. So these women were her friends. So you know what I'm saying? When you how many people go someplace and you ain't really buying nothing, but it's just the company that you keep when you're there.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? You hang out with the Robinsons, you know, because the minister is in there cooking some cornbread, and Annie running around ain't gonna cook nothing, and this and that and the other. And we just hanging out with D, and if it ain't pork chop, she not making it. You know what I'm saying? We just hanging out. Yeah, can I get amen? Praise
Amen.
Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? So we just hanging out, and it's just the company because we don't have no pork chops, so that means she not cooking. So me and D just talking, we just watching the game, we just hanging out and having fellowship. And that's what this woman did. She had the ministry of fellowship. See, you can't have fellowship unless you have fellowship. Because it says, oh, how good is it, and well is it for brethren to dwell together in unity. That's the word. So she had fellowship. These women liked to be around her. They liked to be around her so much that they loved her.
All right.
They loved her.
Amen.
They loved her so much because she was able to do something for them when they needed it.
Amen.
Don't, when somebody passed, don't walk up to somebody talking about, God, I know you love them, but God loved them best. That's some of the most dumbest stuff you can say. Don't say no foolishness like that.
Yes. I agree.
When you're ready to talk, I'm here.
That's it.
Let me give you some food so you don't have to cook. Because I know your mind ain't on cooking right now. Can I pick up your kids for you so you can stay in and sleep in and get a little rest because I know you're having some restless nights?
Yes.
Can I come by and cut your grass for you? I'll sit your trash out. Don't worry about it.
Amen. Amen.
Instead of coming up here with this stupid stuff, say the things and do the things that her.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's
Yes.
right. Amen. Tell the truth now.
She said, listen, you ain't got time. Here's a little coat for you and your babies. She done made a coat for him and all of his children.
All right.
Amen.
I know you're going to be going back and forth in this cold outside. You ain't got time to stop by Walmart, Kmart, JCPenney and get them. I made them a little something. Here you are. And don't worry about it. It ain't going to cost you nothing.
Praise God.
And you ain't got to tell nobody I did it.
right.
Because that ain't why I did it. I did it because it was from my heart. Because it was from my passion. Because my passion created my fellowship.
Yes.
And my fellowship brought you to me. And now we are together.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Dwelling in unity. And now we have this community
Yes.
where we love one another.
Yes, Lord.
But Dorcas, for all that she did, she was still a victim
Yes, she was.
of our physical conditions.
Yes.
She was a victim of time.
Yes.
We are all passing through time.
Yes.
You have a birth date, you have a death date.
That's
All
right.
right.
The Bible says at some point in time, Dorcas became sick and she died.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the community in which she had created this fellowship that led to the unity, they were saddened.
Yeah.
And they came in and they washed her body. This was their opportunity to do something for Dorcas because they did not forget what Dorcas had done for them.
Amen.
It wasn't nobody arguing about who gonna pay this, who gonna get what. It said they came together.
Yes.
We're having a problem coming together.
Amen. Amen.
We can't sit down and eat for too long before the conversation shift and go the wrong way. They weren't having a problem coming together.
Amen.
They came together, Mother Hurt, and they washed her body.
Yes.
And they put her body in the upper chamber.
Yes.
Now, if you remember in the beginning of Acts, when Ananias and Sapphira came in and said, we're going to give this to you, and this is all we have. They lied to the Holy Spirit. They fell dead
Yes, they did.
right then and there.
Yes.
And they were picked up, washed, and took and buried right then. And then the husband came in, and the wife came in, and the same thing happened.
Amen.
All right, now let me show you how faith works. Around this time, there's always a backstory.
Yeah.
There's always a backstory. While your story is going on, there's another story that's going on that's ultimately going to lead up to your story, and it's going to bring your story into fruition and help your story manifest itself so that God will get the glory.
Amen.
So Peter was there, and he was in Joppa, and there was a man by the name of Aeneas. Aeneas was bedridden, and he could not walk, and he was on a bed, and Peter said, arise in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I command you to get up. And health and wealth was restored to his body, and he was walking and was a living miracle, and people that lived there knew that he was crippled and knew it wasn't no fake, it wasn't no phony. And when he got healed, it created a stir, and people ran and came to God because they seen what God did, and they had proof of what God did.
Yes.
That's why God said
Yes.
miracles,
Yes.
signs,
Yes.
and wonders shall follow these
Yes.
that believe.
Yes.
All right.
So
Yes.
if you can't raise nobody, you ain't serving the right God.
Yes.
Peter was serving the right God.
Yes.
I like Peter. I like Peter because Peter, like your drunk uncle at the picnic, sometimes he cuss a little bit. Sometimes he talk too much. But he is sincere.
Yes, he is.
He asks all the wrong questions at the wrong time. He make all the wrong statements at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Jesus had to say, shut up and get behind me, Satan. But for as bad as Peter's mouth was, you can't say nothing about Peter because Peter got out the boat.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
No, it is.
Yes,
You
he
missed
did.
your moment. Peter walked on the water.
Yes, he did.
All right.
He got out the boat.
Yeah.
Peter was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he cut the man's ear off. Say what you want to, but Peter was ride or die, or
Yes,
he was
he
ride to
was.
life. You can say what you want to.
Yes, sir.
Peter was about that life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He
Yes.
meant it. It wasn't no faking. If I'm gonna be saved, I'm gonna be saved. If I'm gonna be a sinner, I'm gonna be the best of sinners. But I'm gonna be, and I ain't gonna be in the middle.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So Peter, with the power of God, had healed Aeneas and these women who lived about 15 minutes away. So we're in Oakland, and they lived somewhere like between after Hayward, going towards Union City, San Jose. In that way, they said, look. Didn't y'all hear about Peter? They said, that's right. He did. He raised Aeneas. Hey, y'all, Freddie, Cornell, y'all run on over there and get Peter and tell Peter we need him to come right now. Don't delay and bring himself right on. We're not going to anoint the body for the burial. We just going to wait for a minute.
Amen. All right. Amen.
Oh, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It only takes just a couple of people who believe God. That's all it takes. It only takes for 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. That shall I be in the midst. It only takes just a couple. So they exercise faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Somebody got to have some faith. They didn't fall apart. They didn't go to pieces. They said, wait a minute. Did you not hear about Aeneas? Peter is somewhere near. Y'all go get Peter and bring him back and tell him, don't delay. So they had faith. Your faith will create action.
Thank you, Jesus.
You missed it. Your faith will create action. Faith has to be followed by action.
Thank you, Jesus.
Action. So here comes Peter. Peter finally gets there and he walks up into the room and they all crying and they're crying and then here they are. They're presenting her works. They're presenting her works because it said not only did she work, but she gave alms deeds. So somebody walk up and say, well, Brother Robinson, he gave me money when I didn't have none. Somebody else walk up and say, well, Brother Robinson wrote me a check and paid my PG&E bill. Brother Robinson went and put groceries and left them on the porch and just knocked on the door. Well, Brother Robinson, he paid my car note. Brother Robinson, he fixed my car. Brother Robinson, they just kept, so many people just kept coming, Brother Robinson, Brother Robinson, Sister Dorcas, Sister Dorcas, Sister Dorcas, Sister Dorcas, Sister Dorcas. And at the same time, they crying and they said, look, I don't know what you're going to do, Peter, but look, this is what she did for me. She was important in my life when I had no one, when I needed somebody, when I didn't have nothing. She was my everything. My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. When you don't know what you need, God got it. When you don't know what you want, God got it. So they presented all these alms deeds. They gave her and showed all of these works. And they showed her, and Peter's standing there. They crying. They weren't like the people who were crying at Jairus' house. They were crying because they weren't hired to cry. They were crying because they were sad. But look at Peter, y'all can say what y'all want to about it. I told you Peter got out on the boat. He got out of the boat. But Peter was there because Peter was in the inner circle. Peter was there when Jesus said the damsel sleeps and they laughed Jesus to scorn. And Jesus put them all out the house. Peter was there. So when you see something done before, you can do it. I ain't never made no 7-Up cake. But I've seen it done before. So I can put the vanilla extract where it needs to go. I know how many eggs I'm supposed to have. I know I'm supposed to use a different kind of flour and a different kind of sugar. I know about the nutmeg and all the other stuff. I know about the baking powder and everything that it needs to go in. I know how to grease my pot and heat up the oven so when I pour in the batter, it doesn't stick. But I ain't never cooked it, but I've seen it done. Peter said, I ain't never raised nobody from the dead, but I've seen it done. I ain't never raised nobody from the dead, but I seen it done. Oh, Peter, when did you see it? When Jesus was at the funeral of the widow's son, and he touched the casket, and the boy woke up. I ain't never did it, but I seen it done. Well, when else did you see it? When we was on our way to Jairus' house, and the woman interrupted the blessing, and he said, who touched me? Yeah, I ain't never done it, but I seen it done. Yes. Well, when did you see it? When he told him, take up your bed and walk. I ain't never done it, but I seen it done. So this is what I got to do. I appreciate y'all showing me what Sister Dorcas done did. I appreciate y'all telling me and testifying on our behalf. But I'm going to need you to go on outside. In case one of y'all got some negativity in your spirit. In case somebody got some doubt in their spirit. Because what's getting ready to take place, I can't have no doubt and I can't have nobody Peter, he put them all out. He put them out. He put them out, Sister Tanya. Y'all go on outside. I appreciate y'all coming to get me. Yeah. Y'all go. Y'all go downstairs and just wait for a minute. I got to be alone right now. Well, he knew that he wasn't Jesus. Jesus just walked in and said, Talitha Kumi, which means damsel arise. But Peter said, wait a minute. On my knees is when I'm closest to heaven. He fell down on his knees and he began to pray. And he turned to her and he says, Tabitha, arise. And she arose. And he looked at her. But look at what God does. After you have been dead, and some dead things have been in your life, God himself will make a presentation. You miss it. God himself will make the presentation. Because he said, I don't need nobody to speak for me. I can speak for myself. Because I said, let there be, and there was. I didn't even do that but hover over the face of the deep, and things started to change. I don't need nobody to speak for me. My works speak for themselves. When he carved you out of the mud and he took the Ruach breath of life and the man became a living being. My works speak for themselves. How I stomped down every valley, raised up every mountain, rolled the grass out like carpet, packed it down with the roses and the daffodils. My work speaks for me. So he brings Tabitha downstairs, holding her by the hand, and all of a sudden, you know, everybody starts shouting. You know they done forgot Tabitha, they done raised her back to life. You know how we do. We get so excited that we forget about the person who got the miracle, and we be gone.
Yes, sir.
But can you imagine that you have such an impact in people's lives that they refuse to let you die?
Amen. Hallelujah.
That is a huge statement.
Yes, it is.
You have such an impact. One of these movies that I like is called League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Sean Connery is the person that I like. His name is Quartermain. And when I was growing up, they always called me Eddie Quartermain or Edward Quartermain. So this character was influential in liberating some of the tribes in Africa.
Amen.
He helped black folks.
That's right.
And he was a white man.
Come on now, tell it.
So as a reward, the black folks made a vow that as long as his bones and his body is buried in Africa, he will always live.
That's right.
He won't die.
That's right.
Now I know it's just a story, it's a fictional character, but you could kill him in the United States and he could be dead here, but you put him over in Africa, he's coming back to life. Because he had an impact on the people that the people refused to let him die. Dorcas was nothing more than a saved, sanctified seamstress who had the gift of sewing, had the gift of giving, and it made such a difference in everybody's lives that when she died, they refused to let her die.
Amen.
Now that is what I call a community.
Yes.
She wasn't a bishop. She wasn't a pastor. She wasn't no traveling evangelist. But what she was the center of attention and influence to the people whom she loved.
Amen.
See, everybody has a ministry. You got to get you a ministry. Find out what you are passionate about.
Amen.
That is your ministry.
Amen.
Because see, God will bless you in what you're passionate about, and you wind up getting rich on an accident when you've been working all your life.
Amen. Amen.
I have an uncle, my mother's brother. He worked a job, good job, nothing special, but good job. He retired, but he's a nice man, very nice man. And he lives in New Jersey, and it snows there. And when it snows, you know anything about New Jersey, you can't get out of your driveway. So he just had a little snow blower, and he just going around the neighborhood before people wake up, because in their house they had to get up at the crack of dawn because they had to pick cotton.
All
So
right
he don't
now.
sleep late. I don't sleep late. Cordell don't sleep late. Keisha might sleep late because she would have to get up. But Cordell and I did.
Amen.
And I'm not the favorite because I had to remind him that he wrecked the family car.
Oh,
Can I get an amen? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I ain't never. Let me help you out. The next time you say I'm the favorite, I actually get my ears pierced, and my mama slapped the boogers out my hands. And he did. So that's another sermon for another time. So my mother's brother Charles, he would get up in the morning, and he would just go and clear out driveways.
Neighbors.
Just the neighbors' driveways in the neighborhood. People just wake up in the morning.
Ain't that a blessing?
Oh my goodness, I ain't gonna be late for work this morning, Sister Anna. But his passion became a business, and he became a millionaire after he retired
Yes, amen.
from just blowing snow out of the driveway.
Right.
Now, but let me help you. Let me help you.
Come on, tell
He became a millionaire. Okay, but it only snows 3 months out of the year.
Amen. Amen. Wow. Come on, talk. Well, amen.
Other than that, how much you said that?
Do you see what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen.
His passion allowed him to work 3 to 4 months out of the year and enjoy the fruits of his labor for the rest of the year. Her passion allowed her to just sew some clothes together, and she couldn't even enjoy heaven because the people weren't ready to let her go.
All right. Amen.
She had her song and her dance.
Yeah.
She had her clapping of the hands because it was the anointing that took her from no more to some more. To where there's no more tears, to where there's no more gnashing of teeth, to where every day is howdy, howdy, and amen. But because she had such an emphasis, she's trying to shout, she's trying to shout, and she's trying to enjoy it. She's taking heaven all in, and she's looking at everything, and one of the angels tapped her on the shoulder. Baby girl, I'm sorry, but you got to go back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's got to go back.
Well.
Ain't ready to be up here. You see that? Little while.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing so much for God that when you close your eyes, you only get to stay in heaven for a few minutes? For a few minutes.
Yeah.
For a few minutes. You just getting your shout together.
Yeah.
You running around there trying to find your mother because somebody said, I got a mother over in glory.
Come on, come on, come on.
You trying to find your sister and your brother. And somebody said, I got a sister and a brother over in glory. You looking for your daddy because somebody said, I got a daddy and I got a grandpa over in glory. You looking for some children that I might have beat you there. And you, as soon as you can make eye contact, they said, look, before you go talk to your son, your sister, your father, your brother, your mother, you have been requested back in the earth realm. I'm so sorry to be the one to be the bearer of the bad news because it ain't supposed to be no bad news in heaven. But somebody got so much faith that God said you got to go back. We standing. May the works that I've done speak for me. My works got me to heaven. And got me put right back in the earth.
Amen.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
If there is one that does not know Christ, if there is one that wants to be saved, if there is one at this time, please come.
I'm standing, come on. First cousin. Lost a first cousin. Listening radio.
May I stand in the gap for my son and my grandchildren?
Amen.